Okay, bache. So today we have to start our new topic that is about inheritance. First of all, we must know that what basically inheritance is. So I have a question that why often the children look like their parents, that why do you look like your parents, right? So this is because of the genes, right? This is due to the genes that we carry from our both parents, from our mother, or from our father, make us to look alike them. So this is due to our genes. So that's why we will study in our inheritance. That what inheritance basically is. Inheritance is means basically the passing of features from parents to their offspring, right? For example, here is a father and here is a mother, right? So when a baby is born, so maybe if there is a girl, so the girl maybe carry some gene of inheritance from her father, or the girl's facial features may be resemble with her mother. So basically this is inheritance basically, right? So we can say simply that inheritance means passing of features or passing of traits from parents to their offspring, right? To children through their genes, right? For example, if we talk about the eye color, for example, if we talk about the hair color, height, right? Facial features, intelligence. So there are several factors on which inheritance depends, right? So basically, the transfer of characters or transfer of features from parents to their offspring with the help of genes is known as inheritance. It is clear? Now we have to talk about genes. What are genes? Can you define genes? Yes, Sarah. Can you define genes? What are genes basically?
Is it like a length of DNA that codes for a protein?
Okay, so we can say yes that uh, genes are basically small instructions, we can say, right? Inside our body. So they tell our body what should be there. They decide that what should be the eye color of that individual, what should be the height of that individual, what should be the skin color, hair color of that individual, right? So genes are found in chromosome, right? There's a cell in our body, right? Inside the cell we have the nucleus, right? Because we are eukaryotic organisms, right? We have the proper nucleus in our body, in our cells. So inside the nucleus there are chromosomes, right? And above the chromosomes there are present certain genes, right? Some genes determine the height of the individual, some genes determine the facial features, some genes determine eye color, intelligence, skin color, and so on. So genes are found basically on chromosome, and genes are basically small instruction, or you can say a code that decides that what should be the height, eye color, skin color, intelligence, what should be, how much these characters should be present in an individual. Got it? Or which type of qualities should individual have to equip with their parents, right? So this is basically the concept of gene, right? Okay, so let us talk about the chromosomes. We have talked about genes, so let us talk about chromosomes. What are chromosomes? When we talk about the chromosomes, so inside every cell nucleus, right, there are chromosomes. There are structure that are known as chromosomes, and chromosomes are made up of DNA, right? And they are responsible for carrying certain genes on them. If we talk about the human, so in the case of human, there are 46 chromosomes. Total 46 chromosome which are present in 23 pairs. Right? So this is about the chromosomes, that chromosomes are found inside the nucleus and they are responsible for carrying the genes, and they are basically long DNA molecules that are found in nucleus. And in case of human, there are 46 number of chromosomes, but these number of chromosomes are not same in each individual, right? So in case of horse fly, The number of chromosomes are different. In case of chimpanzees, in case of other species, right, the chromosome number may vary, but we are only concerned with human beings, right? So we must have know that the number of chromosome in human beings is 46, right? In the normal human being is 46, right, which are present in 23 pairs, right? And there are 22 pair of autosomal chromosome, right? Okay, we are talking that there are how much chromosomes? 46, right? And 23 pairs, right? So out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are autosomes. Autosome means whether it is a boy or a girl, these pair or these set of chromosome remains same in male or female, right? But there is one pair of sex chromosome that determines the gender of individual. Got it? In case of a man or in case of a male, the chromosome pair would be XY, right? In case of female, if there is a girl, so that set of chromosome would be XX. So out of the 23 pairs of 46 chromosomes, 22 chromosomes are autosomes. That these set of chromosomes is same in male and female both, but one pair may differs, and it determines the gender of individual. And if in case of a boy or male it is XY, and in case of a female it is XX. Got it, Sarah? Any confusion up till now?
No.
Okay, so we have talked about genes, we have talked about DNA, we have talked about chromosome. So what is basically DNA? Let us talk about DNA. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, right? And it contains genetic information. Our chromosomes are basically made up of DNA, right? There are 46 chromosomes. So each chromosome contains own DNA, which contains its own genetic information. Got it? So you must, know the relation. For exam point of view, that DNA is present in genes, right? Which are present on chromosomes, right? And these chromosomes are present on nucleus, and nucleus is found in cells. Got it? You must have to know about this sequence. That DNA is present in genes, and genes are present on chromosomes, and chromosomes are found in nucleus, and nucleus is found inside the cell. Right? Okay. When we are studying about inheritance, so there are some other terms that we must keep in mind according to our exam point of view. Allele, right? Allele. So what is allele basically? If we talk about allele, so every gene, if we talk about allele, so there is a gene and alleles of a gene, right? So when we talk about allele basically, so it is basically different version of a gene, right? For example, if we talk about eye color, right? So in individuals with brown eyes, the gene, the allele for the eye color would be capital B. Just I'm giving you just example, right? But at the same time, the individuals with blue eyes, the allele would be small b. The B is basically representing the eye color, right? But for brown, it would be capital B, and for blue, it would be smaller b. So these are alternative forms of a gene basically, right? Different versions of a gene that are known as allele. Got it? Okay. So next term is basically dominant and recessive allele, right? Dominant and recessive allele. So dominant allele is the allele that always shows if present, right? In case of the B, capital B and small b, as the B, capital B is larger, so capital B would be dominant allele. Got it? And small b would be recessive allele. It only shows if no dominant is present, right? For example, I will write for the persons with brown color, eye color, and for the person with blue eye color, okay, for the brown eye color, I can write the genotype capital B, right? Or capital B, small b. Got it? But for the persons with blue type eye color, I can only write small b, because here the both alleles are capital B, that is representing the brown. But in the second pair, you can see that capital B is a dominant allele. Although both alleles are present, but the dominant one mask is effect over the other. So in this case, the eye color would be brown color. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
Any confusion up till now?
No.
All right. So that's about alleles and dominant and recessive allele. Okay. For the exam point of view, there is also another important question. They may ask an exam about genotype and phenotype. It is present in your book?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's discuss about geno and phenotype, right? So basically, when we talk about genotypes, genotype shows the genetic makeup of organisms. It means the combination of alleles an organisms basically has. For example, capital B, capital B, capital B, small b, small b, small b, right? So these are the letters inside the genes, right? When we talk about the phenotype, it only shows the physical appearance, right? Not the actual genetic makeup. It only shows the physical appearance of the characters shown. It means that what you can see is phenotype. What you can see with your eye is basically phenotype, and what you can't see with your eye is basically the genotype, that is the real genetic makeup of an individual, right? For example, you can see a person's brown eye, right? You can see person blue eyes. You can see tall plant, short plant. So these are basically phenotype. The phenotype means the physical appearance or characteristics that is shown, that we can see with our eye. And genotypes is the combination of alleles of an organism has, basically, right? So this is about pheno and genotype. That phenotype basically represent the physical appearance, right? And genotype basically represent the genetic makeup. We can see the phenotype through different traits: brown eyes, blue eyes, tall, short, and the letters represent basically the genotype, right? So genotype is not visible, although the phenotype is visible, and genotype is controlled by genes, right? And the phenotype is controlled by genotypic environment, right? So that's the difference between pheno and genotype. Okay, Sarah, any questions?
No.
It is clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what should we have to discuss next? Okay. These are the other terms: homozygous versus heterozygous, right? Okay. Homo means same. Whenever a word come with the word homo, so you must keep in mind homo mean same. So it means a pair in which there are both same alleles, either capital B or small b, right? So this is basically a homozygous pair, because both alleles are same, right? Both alleles are same. Capital B are similar to each other, and capital B, small b are similar to each other. So both are homozygous pair. So in contrast to homozygous, when there is a different alleles, right? So this is known as heterozygous. For example, capital B with small b. This is the heterozygous condition when there are different alleles. Got it? So each parent give one allele. When there is individual bond, right? Cell divide. So each parent gets one allele from the mother and one allele from father, right? So that's how it's determined the genetic makeup or phenotype of the individual. Got it? Next talk, we have to talk about the Punnett square. What is Punnett square, Sarah? What is Punnett square? Hmm? Any idea?
Is it like the physical diagram, like to predict the possible genetic outcome?
Yes. So Punnett square is basically a diagram that is used to predict the possible genetic outcomes of a cross between two parents, right? When the individual is born, so right, we can determine the genotype of the individual, and by determining the genotype, we can also determine the phenotype of that individual through the cross diagram. So basically, it's a cross diagram that, right? So in simple word, we can say that it's a box that shows what traits a baby might inherit from the parents after being born, right? So why we use it? Basically, we use it for different we use it for different different purposes. We use to for predicting genotypes, right? For predicting phenotypes, right? And calculate the probability, the chance of the trait. What should be the chance of a baby that he might get brown hair from father or black hair from mother. So these are the use of Punnett square, basically, right? So basically what happens that each parents give one allele, right, to the offspring. So we can combine one allele from mother and one allele from father and make a cross of them. For example, if we talk about, you know, Punnett square, that we will cross capital B small b with capital B small b. So for example, parent 1 is inheriting this pair to the offspring and parent 2 is inheriting this pair to the offspring. So how we gonna make cross? That we will make a box like this, that we should write the alleles like this and like this. Got it? Now we have to multiply the alleles. That when capital B multiplies with capital B, it would be capital B, right? And when capital B when the small b gets multiplied with capital B, it would be capital B small b, right? Then this capital B multiplies with small b would be capital B small b, and then this small b when multiplied with small b, it would be small b small b. So what we have? We have one capital B, right? Two capital B small b and one small b small b. You can see from the cross. It is clear? Am I right?
Yeah.
Right? So now what should be the phenotype? That phenotypes, three brown eyes, right? Three brown eyes. That this is a brown eye, right? Because capital B is for brown eyes, and capital B small b is also for brown eyes. So these are two and one, three brown eyes, right? And 1% chance of getting blue eyes, right? That there is a, we can say there is 70% chance of the baby, 75% chance of the baby that he might get brown eyes, and only 20 to 25% chance that he may get blue eyes. It is clear about the Punnett square, basically. Any question or any confusion in your mind, so you can easily ask.
No, there's nothing.
It is clear?
Yeah.
Okay.